Here we are in Holyoke, Massachusetts on a street length tour. Today we're going to go the length of Sycamore Street. And Sycamore Street has on its northern reaches a lot of institutions. And you can see the Holy Cross Church over to our right is at the very start of Sycamore Street. But that's not all. Sure, it's wonderful to have a church start the street. But also you got a beautiful house and you have a plaza up here. So right in front of us is the Kennedy Plaza, made out of the Ranger Triangle, and it was named after President Kennedy after he died, and he had become he was the award winner on one of the St. Patrick's Day parade for him is having become a state senator, a senator to the federal government. And in the plaza is St. Patrick's Day award winners, and it's also quotes that he said during his lifetime. Now across the street from where I'm looking, this is the start of Suffolk and Sycamore. So where I'm looking now is the Casper Ranger House, and he was a contractor that wanted to show off at nearly at the beginning of the Highlands how good a builder he was. So he built his gorgeous house there in a grand Queen Anne Victorian style. It's quite beautiful looking, and this whole neighborhood is absolutely filled with institutions like that. And what we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you one more. So right at this corner you have four beautiful things. You have right in front of you at the southwest corner of Appleton and Sycamore, you have the Frank Townhouse. He was one of the three brothers town that opened up the National Blank Book in Holyoke, and he took turns being the president, treasurer, so forth of the company. His two other brothers, Joseph and Edward, decided to have landscapes done by the Olmsted brothers. He decided not to have a landscape done by the Olmsted brothers. His house is in a new neo-Tudor style, very gorgeous. But the landscape around is not as nice as his brother's because it wasn't Olmsted design. And for instance, the walls too are up. The upper wall there is absolutely fallen down. When you have an Olmsted designed landscape, they make it so nice, plus the contractors are hired are so good that walls even 100 years old still exist in perfect shape. So four things at the corner here between Suffolk, Appleton, and Sycamore. You have the Holy Cross Church, you have the Mission Church of Holy Cross, you have the Kennedy Plaza, you have the Casper Ranger House. Remember, Kennedy Plaza was called Ranger Triangle because it's right across from his house. And you also have the town's house, and that turned into the rectory for the Holy Cross Church because Casper Ranger gave it to them for free. All right, and then one more building is a modern building, but we're going to go now on a tour. Sycamore Street, so we're passing on the right hand side, the townhouse. Right, and finally it goes very residential, but some of the homes are very nice looking. For instance, the one on our right is a gorgeous, the upper level is stucco, the bottom level is brick. That's a very unique look to it. The homes on the left hand side are very modern homes, and so you go very quickly from gorgeous Victorian to small modern Cape Cod homes. And we're crossing on the campus street on the right hand side is the Forestdale Cemetery, at least one end of it. Its entrance is on Pleasant Street and Cabot Street. Now on this block here, you see modern buildings along the way. So a lot of these came much, much later, probably in 1940s. So you very quickly go from institutions at one corner to some gorgeous Victorian homes to modern homes. And then you go back into homes that are Victorian. So something must be going on here. And the reason why is because we're going into the neighborhood that was developed by Orrin Allen. This is one of his contractual neighborhoods that he developed. And it was called Oakdale. And you see all the houses around here are much simpler Victorian homes, but they're all very similar looking to them. The way the gables are set out on both sides. And sometimes you have double gable, and sometimes you have hip gable. And so you can tell that by looking by the size of them, by their appearance, they all had one builder, one contractor, and one designer, and that was Orrin Allen. He built 300 homes in Holyoke with his construction firm. Okay, we're across from West Franklin Street. Continue. And you're starting to see really modern homes here. They're made to look maybe colonial, but they're actually really very modern. Now this part of Sycamore was added much later. It was the last part of Sycamore, and so it's extremely new. These are probably 1950 houses. So what a drastic change as you drive along the street. You come through a lot of different changes along the way, and that usually amazes a lot of people, right? So thank you for coming on this Sycamore Street tour in Holyoke.